What's up? I'm Indigo, and today I want to talk about building confidence, building self confidence, and things that you need to do, steps you need to take in order to restore your self confidence and build an unbreakable self confidence. All right, so let's get out of the mix and answer the frequency. So, what is self confidence, right? Self confidence is trust, self trust. It's when you know yourself and you know that you always come through for yourself. Now, self confidence, unfortunately, is not pending on you actually being there and showing up for others. Because there's a lot of folks that are very dependable. They're always there. They're always on time. They are the rock in so many other people's lives, but they have a very low self confidence. And here is why. It's because when it comes down to it, they are not coming through for themselves enough. Okay, they're not showing up for themselves. So they are in turn destroying their internal self confidence. Okay, so people like that might often plan to do something for themselves. I'll use myself as an example. I plan to go and, work out because I've been needing to get a workout in. We know exercise is good for our overall health and mentality. So I've been planning to work out, but I keep pushing it off because, my kids need to go to school or they have appointments or, I have to take so and so here. I have to do this. I have to do that. Oh, my auntie needs this. So I'm going to show up for her for that. My sister needs me to watch the kids. It can go on and on. So you can place so many other things before the one thing that you told yourself that you were going to do for you. Now, what does that mean? Are you a bad person? No. Are you a great person? Probably to the people that you're doing things for, but to yourself, you are deteriorating your self confidence because you are telling yourself that you are not as important as everyone else. Everyone else's needs need to go before your own, and you do not want to do that. That's not sufficient for yourself. Internally, it does serious damage. It creates a bad cycle where you don't realize that you're doing it and you start to actually feel bad when you actually do stuff for yourself. When you show up for yourself, you feel guilt. You feel guilt, and it takes time to break yourself out of that. So, to build self confidence, you have to start fresh and develop a relationship with yourself where you are putting you first and you are coming through for you. You are actually, following through the things that you say you are going to do for you. Okay, it doesn't matter, you coming through for other people and being the most dependable person in the world. Right now, you got to focus on you. Okay, so what does that mean? If you say you're going to wake up at 6, wake up at 6. You got to do that. If you say you are going to, no matter what you're doing, I'm going to stop at 12 p.m. and have lunch so I don't skip lunch. You do that. Doesn't matter if a colleague has something that they just want to talk to you about or your sister suddenly just wants to talk to you about. You have to put things on hold. You have to tell people, just a minute, not yet, and do what you set out to do for yourself. It's those little things that we don't pay attention to that really chip away at your self confidence. So that's very small, but it is key in beginning to build your internal self confidence and that relationship with yourself, repairing that relationship with yourself. So, I wanted to do a quick video about this because I mentioned it in my last video at the very end, saying, my next video is going to be about how to build a self confidence. So, I'm starting at the very, very beginning. Someone whose confidence would be so broken down because you put everyone else before yourself. You're an empath and you put other people's feelings before yourself. You put their needs before your own because you're such a good person. And you could still be a really good person while building your confidence. You just have to make sure you do what you told yourself you're going to do. Because though you didn't mention it to anyone else and they don't know you had plans for yourself, okay? So they're not intentionally trying to stop you from growing and gaining confidence. They're just trying to get what they need out of you. Like, all people would do for a dependable person. So in turn, you need to show up for you. And the things that you set out in your mind, even if you have to write it down, do it. If you have to make it known, to your family and say, I have this plan for me, then do it. But sometimes, often, they don't know. So they're just going to ask. So it's up to you to say, no, I have something else that I have to do. And then come through for yourself. Do for yourself. Okay? Now, for those who don't have a problem telling people no, but they still need to work on building self-confidence, that's a start. By doing what you set out to do. It is seriously going to mentally switch something for you, because the more you do that, the more you become to trust yourself, okay? The more your subconscious realizes that you succeed, that you have fulfilled whatever it is that you set out to fulfill. It's a part of rebuilding that relationship with yourself. So put yourself first, okay? Trust in yourself, put yourself first, and that's one of the first steps to building self-confidence. Coming through for yourself as you plan to, doing the things that you set out to do. If you plan to get your ass up and do some exercises, then do it. Even if it's for a shorter amount of time than you planned, even if it's for 10 minutes instead of a full hour workout, you get up and you do what you said you were going to do for yourself. In the end, it's going to be building you up, okay? And then you'll get to a point where, it's just natural to do what is necessary for your fulfillment and your thriving in life. And that's it. Drop a comment, and, let me know of a situation where you actually flipped the script and you were proud of yourself and you did what you set out for yourself, and made yourself proud. So I'll see you in the next video.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. Bitch, I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll. Cut that bitch off. Next call.